She was blindsided, and it didn't sneak up on her. This wasn't some slow unraveling. It was a public implosion. In a single weekend, Meghan Markle's carefully crafted image, built on prestige, partnerships, and powerful allies, came crashing down. And it all started with two names: Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry. First came Oprah. Once seen as Meghan's ride or die in Hollywood, Oprah allegedly vanished. Gone were the warm words, the solidarity, the Instagram shoutouts. Meghan reached out, but the lines went cold. And then, just as the silence settled in, the Real bomb hit.
The Duchess of Sussex talks publicly for the very first time about her father and her half-sister, Samantha Markle. She tells Oprah how she felt when she found out her dad was working with the tabloids.
Once they did, I remember being told there was a huge headline like, "We found him," or "We've got him." You're talking about someone's father. And from that point, the tabloids, they moved into the apartment next door and across from him.
Meghan Markle, she may have stepped down from royal duties more than 5 years ago, but she keeps taking aim at the monarchy. The Duchess of Sussex has made reportedly at least half a dozen swipes at the royal family this year, and it's only June.
Enter Tyler Perry. On national television, in front of millions at one of the biggest events of the year, the BET Awards, he delivered a stunning revelation. He didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't protect her. He laid it bare. Meghan Markle is allegedly drowning in multi-million-dollar debt. And not quiet, private debt, but debt she reportedly tried to bury under the weight of her public persona. We are not mincing words. We are not riding the fence. Tonight, we're siding with Tyler Perry. Because if what he said is even half true, this wasn't a simple financial issue. It was a full-scale exposure of the cracks hiding beneath Meghan's entire public brand. And the aftermath? It's a tsunami. The empire she built on image is trembling. Her support base? In shock. Her reputation? Shattered under the weight of whispered lies and financial secrets. This isn't just another royal gossip headline. This is a collapse in slow motion. Buckle up. This saga just detonated.
Did it feel like betrayal when you found out your father was working with the tabloids?
I'm just trying to decide if I'm comfortable even talking about that.
As ever, her new company, the very first thing she said was, look, when I had the TIG, which was her previous lifestyle website, I loved cooking and I loved gardening and being a hostess, and she basically said I had to keep my light under a bushel at this time because of the royal family. Then we get her show, her Netflix show.
There was a time when the name Oprah Winfrey was practically synonymous with Meghan Markle's rise in America. It was Oprah who gave Meghan the platform that legitimized her outside the royal family. It was Oprah who sat with her during that infamous tell-all interview, the one that redefined public perception of the monarchy. Oprah didn't just support Meghan. She helped construct her new identity. So when Meghan allegedly began reaching out in the wake of Perry's revelation, pleading for public support, Oprah's silence wasn't just noticeable. It was deafening. No return calls. No messages of reassurance. No well-timed tweet or quote to steer the narrative. Just nothing.
If we're going to use the word betrayal, it's because when I asked him, which is also a really key point in all this, they don't report the news, they create the news.
The royals owe me. Harry owes me. Meghan owes me. What I've been through, I should be rewarded for.
She spreads her legs, she hikes her dress.
According to sources close to the situation, Oprah allegedly made a deliberate decision. Step back. And it wasn't subtle. Meghan reportedly made multiple attempts to contact her, hoping for advice, backup, or even a statement to neutralize Perry's remarks. But the messages were met with silence. Not even a no comment. The ghosting wasn't a rumor. It became an unmistakable message. Hollywood insiders say Oprah has grown disenchanted with the chaos surrounding Meghan and Harry, especially as legal troubles and financial rumors swirl. Some speculate that Oprah doesn't want to tie her billion-dollar brand to what's being described as a sinking ship.
Circles her genitals.
And Harry asked for her hand over the phone. And I said, you're a gentleman. promise me you'll never raise your hand against my daughter, and of course I give you my...
Oh my gosh, I worked so hard.
About her creativity being stunted. She says that when, she first, and, as a result of the royal family, she says that when she became a mum, she would have thought that she'd be able to have a baby on her hip and give speeches, but then, the whole drama and the pain and everything that was caused by being part of the royal family.
And I said, that's really nice. And then the next call was like, he's British. And I said, well, that's really nice. And then eventually the third time around it was like, he's a prince.
That's not just a personal betrayal. It's a business decision. And it cuts deep. To the outside world, this was the moment Meghan realized she might be completely alone. Because when Oprah stops answering your calls, especially during a scandal, you're not just losing a friend. You're losing your biggest weapon. But while Oprah stayed silent, someone else decided to speak louder than ever. It was supposed to be a celebration. Glitz, glamour, cameras, applause. The 2025 BET Awards were never meant to be a battleground.
As a silent wallet, he cut off communication completely. That's right, Tyler Perry, the man who gave them a roof when no one else would, has officially walked away. And from the tone of his message, he won't be coming back. One of the most jaw-dropping moments in Perry's speech came when he revealed that Meghan tried.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. It's so authentic, isn't it?
But what unfolded on that stage will be talked about for years. Tyler Perry, a man Meghan once considered family, shattered the illusion with a single bombshell. Live. On stage. In front of Hollywood's elite and millions watching at home, he allegedly exposed Meghan's biggest secret, staggering personal debt. The number? Rumored to be well over $2 million.
Everybody says she's a bully. She's very nasty. Not only is she incredibly controlling, but she's a bitch about...
Well, good evening from London. Welcome to Piers Morgan Uncensored. Today, Harry and Meghan torched what little was left of their relationship with the royal family and what little was left, frankly, of their own reputations. Last week was mostly sick of...
And this wasn't whispered behind closed doors. This was public. Loud. Unforgiving. Insiders claim Perry had been sitting on this knowledge for months. He was allegedly frustrated, felt manipulated, even. He had offered Meghan shelter in his Los Angeles mansion during her royal fallout. He introduced her to key players. He vouched for her. And yet, according to reports, Perry now believes that Meghan may have used their connection to hide financial desperation rather than seek support. And that night, at the BET Awards, he didn't just speak. He detonated. Those in attendance were visibly stunned. Phones were whipped out. Press rows went into a frenzy. There were gasps. Audible ones. Perry didn't just drop a hint. He named the issue, wrapped it in receipts, and handed it to the world.
Old revelations with a new twist. As it turns out, we've apparently been wrong all along. Britain is a nasty, racist hellhole where only magnificent Meghan stood up to all this. And the
end of every episode, it says, like, the starring, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex.
Yes.
That's how mornings are as I get the kids off to school. You're making fruit parfait crudité boards? Like,
oh my
whom?
God. She is...
Even more shocking, his tone. This wasn't accidental. This was calculated. Cold. Firm. He didn't frame it as a concern, he framed it as a fact. And that's what made it stick. Once Perry laid it bare, there was no going back. No spin, no PR rescue, no friendly headlines could walk it back. The story had already become legend. And Meghan? She was watching live. What happened next pushed her to the brink. If you thought Meghan would stay composed in the face of Perry's bombshell, think again. The moment his words hit the airwaves, she reportedly went into full-blown panic mode. Multiple sources claim she was watching the BET Awards in real time, and when Perry dropped the hammer, her reaction was immediate and volcanic. According to leaks from people allegedly inside her team, Meghan started texting Perry instantly. Not one message, not two, dozens. She demanded he walk it back, that he take it down, issue a clarification, blame the media, anything. But Perry didn't flinch. He left the messages unread. No call, no apology, just complete silence. That's when the real chaos began. Her PR team scrambled. One assistant reportedly broke down in tears. unsure how to respond to incoming media inquiries.
No, the world's biggest victims right now are the Duke and Duchess of Netflix. And don't take my word for it.
This promise of once you're married, how hard I tried, no matter how good I was, no matter what I did, they were still going to find a way.
Meghan was allegedly pacing, screaming, trying to reach mutual contacts to get Perry to retract. But nobody moved. Everyone stood still, frozen by the sheer audacity of what Perry had done, and perhaps more chillingly by the realization that he meant it. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was a strategic hit, and Meghan had no plan for it. Her usual playbook, control the narrative, spin the facts, release a vague press statement, wasn't going to cut it this time. She was cornered, and when cornered, Meghan's panic wasn't quiet. It was seismic. Some insiders say she briefly considered going on Instagram Live to set the record straight. Others say she contemplated a last-minute call to Gayle King to get ahead of the headlines. But none of it happened, because for the first time in a long time, Meghan Markle had no control over the story. And that loss of control? It sent shockwaves through her entire team. But the worst was still to come. This goes far beyond money. It cuts into Meghan's last major asset, her relevance. In Hollywood, image is currency.
And right now,
her value is plummeting like a stone. After Tyler Perry's bombshell, the tremors were immediate. Her podcast, once hailed as a fresh feminist voice, saw an overnight drop in listeners. Metrics tanked. Subscribers unsubscribed. Even loyal fans reportedly began questioning the narrative.
Hello all. Sorry we're late. Our flight was delayed.
it was mint though. Tell them we were in mint.
They gave you a mint. How lovely. I have some gum in my purse if you'd like.
Oh, we were in mint. It's like their business class. It's really nice. And
Meghan, I'm begging you to stop now.
This also follows all the stories about her bullying staff over here in the UK, which is unresolved. NDAs stopped all that stuff coming out, but she bullied people in a very unpleasant way over here.
Harry and Meghan are the problem. And while we're going to go over all the people that they've hired, just as a great reminder, the couple have hired plenty of professionals before. People at high levels who have worked for Bill Gates, Patagonia, all these sorts of things. And yet none of them have been successful. The common denominator in everything here is Harry and Meghan.
Harry Sussex? I have no idea. And no, Meghan, no one knew that. Like, why are you correct?
I'm going to show you how to make a happy, warm, loving home after I have successfully severed my husband's ties from his entire family.
Did you see my baby mama dance?
I mean, stop it. First of all, can I just tell you, the timing of that, we maybe watched it like 20 times yesterday, and I was like, is that her?
Oh my God.
Is that Prince Harry there with the fingers and the, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, by the way, that wasn't yesterday.
No,
that was 4 years ago. So it's also a really great reminder that with all the noise or whatever people do, there's still a whole life, a real, authentic, fun life that's happening behind the scenes. I'm just grateful that now, being back on social as well, I have a place where I can share it on my own terms.
The analytics team flagged the collapse within hours, and the calls started flooding in. Not from supporters, from sponsors. Sources inside her media team confirmed that at least 2 major advertisers, household names, hit pause on their contracts. One demanded a formal statement addressing the debt scandal. Another allegedly pulled out completely, citing reputational risk. Just days earlier, Meghan had been in talks to renew a 6-figure deal with a luxury skincare brand. That negotiation? Dead in the water. Hollywood insiders say producers are now wary. Meetings that were once shoo-ins are being postponed indefinitely. The rumor is that studios no longer see Meghan as bankable. The woman who once walked into rooms to applause now walks into silence, if she's invited at all. And that's the quiet danger. Meghan's team isn't just battling bad press. They're facing an existential crisis. Because when producers start asking, is she still a safe bet? The industry already knows the answer. The question is rhetorical. The fallout? Unforgiving. And yet, career implosion may be the least of her problems. This isn't just a PR nightmare. It's morphing into a legal landmine. Because in the aftermath of Perry's revelation, another threat has emerged: cold, hard legal consequences. According to reports swirling through entertainment and legal circles, Meghan's financial troubles aren't just theoretical, they're documented. Sources close to the situation claim formal letters from creditors have been delivered to at least 2 of her known California residences. Registered mail, official seals, debt demands. And it doesn't stop there. Several insider leaks suggest that at least one debt collection agency is preparing legal action. If filed, it could trigger a chain reaction: asset disclosures, liens, and potentially garnishment proceedings. For a public figure who built her brand on luxury, grace, and self-sufficiency, the optics of a courtroom appearance, especially over unpaid bills, would be devastating. Legal experts warn that if these debts are tied to her business ventures or production companies, it could open the door for even deeper litigation. Any discrepancies in filing, any commingled funds, any appearance of financial misrepresentation, those are lawsuits waiting to happen. And yes, bankruptcy is on the table. Not confirmed, but quietly whispered. If the figure Perry shared is even close to accurate, Meghan may be looking down the barrel of Chapter 11 just to protect her name and assets. The courts don't care about Netflix deals or podcast ratings. They care about receipts. And right now, creditors reportedly have plenty. This is no longer a scandal. It's a siege. And while the legal flames grow hotter, the damage inside her own camp may be even worse. It's often said a celebrity is only as powerful as the circle that protects them. But Meghan's circle? It's crumbling in real time. People who once flew private with her are suddenly unavailable. Invitations are going unanswered. Phone calls ghosted. Behind the scenes, a very different Meghan is emerging, not as the modern princess portrayed in her glossy interviews, but as someone insiders describe as increasingly volatile and paranoid. One longtime friend allegedly backed out of a scheduled appearance with Meghan at a women's empowerment summit, citing scheduling conflicts. Another, who once spoke glowingly of Meghan in the press, now refuses to comment. Silence is the new strategy. Self-preservation, the new loyalty. And it's not just friends. Staffers are leaking. Emails are being misplaced. Contracts are quietly reviewed, NDAs scrutinized. Even her most trusted aides, the ones who stuck around through the royal fallout, are said to be growing weary. Some are whispering that they feel used, left out, or unprotected. Private jets, once a Meghan hallmark, have been canceled. Travel perks revoked. Residences emptied. One insider claimed Meghan is retreating into a smaller and smaller world. And in Hollywood, that's the kiss of death. What's worse? Bridges are not just burning, they're exploding. And with every relationship that breaks, the circle tightens. But not in solidarity, in fear. They're not rallying, they're running. And what's coming next could push even more people out the door. Gossip machines exploded. Online trolls launched fresh waves of attacks. Headlines spun words like collapse, exposed, humiliated. Trending hashtags blasted her name across Twitter. YouTube is flooded with reaction videos. Talk shows are dissecting her downfall. The media has circled, camera lenses zooming in on her every reaction, or lack thereof. She's under a blazing spotlight, with nowhere to hide. Once an A-list darling, now she's a cautionary tale. The empire she built is bloodied. Not broken yet, but bruised. Lack of solidarity from Oprah, Perry's public exposure, legal threats, media juices. It all adds up. Meghan's image is disintegrating fast. Her brand, her social influence, her cachet, all under assault. And if she doesn't reverse this soon, recovery may be impossible. The numbers don't lie. Millions in debt. Creditors are ready. If lawsuits launch, asset seizures could follow. Bankruptcy isn't a distant threat, it's a looming one. A Hollywood career spent building prestige could be eclipsed by creditor calls. This isn't a rumor, it's a financial avalanche in progress. And she might not survive it. She faces a choice: fight back or fade away. Public statement? Denials? legal defense, or silence? Each option carries huge risk. Push too hard, more backlash. Stay quiet, damage festers. Industry watchers are waiting. The public is waiting. Meghan's next move could define her era and determine if she recovers or becomes a footnote in celebrity collapse. Oprah's silence. Perry's explosive reveal. Panic at 30,000 feet. Legal vultures circling. A collapsing inner circle. A media massacre. A fortune on the line. Meghan stands at a crossroads, and she can't stand still. Will she claw her way back, or slip into obscurity? The reckoning is here. Think about it. Under pressure, empires don't just fall, they land hard. And that landing is what we're all watching play out.